right, we are live. How you doing? This is Nighthawk, Revolution Radio, FreedomSlips.com. We have the Dakota Report
Rocky
coming
Hall?
at you with Rocky Hall on there. So, Rocky, how's everything going out there? Give us an update. Let's hear what's going on.
Everything is going pretty good out here. The weather's holding. It's getting a little bit windy.
With your message,
Winter
press
is
1
coming.
to listen to your message.
So we're
Press
trying
2
to build
to
some
erase
permanent
and
structures
re-record. Press
for our
3
kitchen
to continue
and
recording where you
we're
left off.
breaking out
Press
their
4.
teepees and trying to get ready for North
Are
Dakota
you still
cold
there?
winter.
If you are satisfied with your message, press
The
1
latest
to
updates
listen to your
are
message.
that we
Press
have
2 to
approximately
erase and re-record.
Hey,
Press
Roxy,
3
Rocky,
to
hold
continue
on.
recording where you left off.
Hold on a second.
Press 4.
I don't know what's going on. This call that I placed to you earlier.
Are you still there? If
Will
you are
not
satisfied
stop.
with your message, press 1 to listen to your message. Press 2 to erase and re-record.
It's like doing
Press
two
3
calls to
to
you at
continue
once.
recording
I've
where you
never
left
seen
off.
anything like this
Press
in my
4.
life.
Sorry you're having trouble. Your message has been sent. Goodbye.
All right, now we got that out of the way. Sorry about that, folks. Okay, Rocky, start all over. I'm really sorry. I don't know how that even happened. It was like my system called you twice.
Well, your phone number has dropped out of my phone twice. It is just erased from my phone. I went through and looked and looked and looked and could not find your phone number.
That's
So,
strange.
I took your advice and I wrote it down.
There you go. Yeah, it's ever since Oregon, I've had some specific problems, and I think it has to do with I was actually on the phone with Lavoie when they got pulled over.
Oh.
And so I've had some very specific problems placing calls to a lot of very specific people from my landline. And the phone number you have is my landline.
Yep.
And I used to, I called Lavoie every day at 3 o'clock to kind of get an update. And it just happened to be that day. In fact, who was with him on the passenger side?
Oh, I'm drawing a blank.
Yeah, that's who answered the phone. He says, "Well, we're driving up to the up to that sheriff's meeting in the next county," and he thought
John Day.
Yeah, and he thought I was somebody else, and there was this conversation. And then Lavoie got on. He says, "Well, we're headed up there and going this." He says, "But I'm gonna have to call you back. It looks like we have a problem coming up ahead." And then the phone went dead, and that was just it. And ever since then, I've had some really strange issues landlining with a lot of you people like Jason and I had tried to call you at that time because you remember we had talked in that period of time. So and anyway, so getting back to where we started, and I hate to make you re-say stuff again because of that little technical weirdness, but give us an update on what's going on up there in Dakota right now.
Well, the weather's holding. We're preparing for winter. We're preparing for the North Dakota winter that's coming, and they're trying to put up permanent structures down here so that we don't all die. Yesterday, we had approximately, and the number keeps changing because I'm not sure, I've heard anywhere from 21 to 28 people arrested on the front line. And it's not the front line, it was actually 50 miles away, which is definitely off Indian Reservation. And so that was not sanctioned by the elders.
Yeah, I did see.
I heard today that there was a...
I did see the one of the guys from Unicorn Riot got arrested yesterday.
Yeah. I heard through the grapevine today that there was a no bail on them, and so I'm wondering if they're going to hold them like the political prisoners they did in Burns, with the Bundys and the such.
He got out. He got out this morning and is posting, but hasn't done any more video.
Yeah. So we've got that situation going on, and there's a little disruption within the tribal council, and so the vets, the Vietnam vets and the war vets are all stepping up, and they're forming an organization. They're just getting together is what they're doing. and they're going to have a meeting tomorrow night and talk about the treaties and everything else, because the council seems to be falling apart. Not falling apart. There's conflict. I definitely want to reverb that. Not falling apart. There's just conflict.
Right.
And there's going to be.
Seen, sometime this morning, somebody from Cherokee Nation made a really nasty post on one of my videos from one of the Dakota leaders, which was kind of strange. Solidarity is kind of important at this point, right?
Very much so. Very, very much so. And the elders are really pushing that. And even some of the younger ones are pushing it too. And you've got maturity does not come with age, it comes with wisdom. And so you've got some that are older and younger that are disruptive. But you're going to have that in any organization. We had it in Burns, Oregon. We had it at the Bundy Ranch, And so it happens everywhere. So of course it's going to happen here. This is not something new. This is not something spectacular. It's human nature. You get 3 men in a room and you're going to have a fight about football, right? So, sorry, that was my plug.
I don't know. I don't watch football.
Yeah, I don't either. I'm just being ornery.
I could. You get 3 guys in my world. You get 3 guys in a room. We'll have a fight about whether 223 or 5.6 is the best.
Right. Yeah. So that's the main thing right here, and this is historic. And so a lot of these veterans know that, and they understand that. And I've had the ear of a couple of them, and I said, this just has to be done right because the whole world is watching. The whole world, incredible, everybody. We've got a guy here from Australia. I mean, I'm surrounded by Texan and California. I'm looking at license plates right now. I'm sitting in my car. And people are coming from all over, from all walks of life, from all over the world. And so these veterans, they understand that. And you're talking Vietnam veterans and the such, and they want to make sure that this is done properly. And it shows the world that it can be done through peace. Now, that doesn't mean that they're not ready to lay down their lives, because they are. I've talked to some of the older veterans, and they're like, we're at the end of our road, and we will go first. And I got to tell you, partner, I'll be standing right beside them, because these are honorable men. I had the privilege of sitting at their fire last night, and I just felt at home, because I was raised around a lot of Vietnam vets and stuff, and I felt safe, and for me, that's huge. So I felt safe, comfortable. I mean, we're jabbing on each other, picking on each other, and just laughing and good times. But when it comes down to talking about the treaties, they're very, very serious. Very serious.
Yeah, I saw now I'm not sure if this is true. Maybe you could square this up for me. Because, not everything you read on the internet is real. But I saw where the Dakota Nation has sent something to the United Nations removing or actually, I don't know how to word this, but they have just withdrawn their interest in any of the treaties, since they've never held up the treaties with the United Nations, and just even removed themselves, as citizens of the United States, which they aren't anyway. We're citizens. People who live in the United States are basically citizens of their country, honestly, and in a way, although you can't wind back time and fix stuff, but you can fix stuff, but not by winding back time, but just by human interaction and trying to get all this back together. And then, just yesterday we found out that Bayer bought out Monsanto, and all this weird money trail is starting to show up over that pipeline. So, I don't know how much of that is. Yeah, I don't know how much of this is true, but this treaty stuff, I would really like to know how true that is.
Well, it sounds reasonable from the tension that I'm hearing and sensing and seeing and feeling It sounds reasonable. There's a lot of anger. There's a lot of hurt. There's a lot of betrayal. And so they don't trust. LaDonna, where we are on her land here at Sacred Stone, I'm in Sacred Stone Camp. I was told today that LaDonna was kicked off the council. And something about money or something, I didn't understand it. And sometimes their words are not correct because it's their second language, not their first.
Right. Well, wait a minute. LaDonna, she's the one that started this.
That is correct. Yes.
Wasn't it her and 4 other women that went and literally started this whole thing?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, that's odd. Why would they kick her off this council?
I'm not going to touch that one, brother.
Okay. Well, yeah, I guess it's not really our business. In some ways.
I'm not gonna say anything on air. I will say that to you off air. But there's tension and the such. But a lot of us stand for LaDonna's movement, and she started this. This was her thing, and so there's a divide and there's tension and the such. But I will not go into detail because it's all about what this is for. And what this is for is to save the drinking water and to stop what the oil companies are doing all over the United States. That's why we're here. We're not here for tribal gossip. We're not here for that stuff. It's about the movement. And
yeah, definitely.
I go down and sit by the water all the time, and I tell you, it's just so beautiful, and the water here is clean, and we don't have that in California much anymore in certain spots, and so if this is the last frontier, if this is it, and we've got to just lay down our lives to stop this from this madness, it's this oil is not going to stay in the United States. It's going to go to China or wherever, and and then
actually, the end port on this is actually a Chinese port.
Yeah. So we're ruining our country and our water and our land for greed, and it's got to stop. At some point, it has to stop.
Right, and the other you got this other problem here. You got Nestle, who is buying all the clean water.
Yeah.
It's like a Dracula movie. They're buying. Yeah. They're buying these places and they jam their wells into these aquifers and suck them literally dry to the point that lakes on top of the land are going dry. I live in the Appalachians. I have 2 clean springs, deep well springs, coming out of both sides of the mountain. Well, we don't call them mountains here, but we call them knobs. But anybody that lives on a flat land would call it a mountain. But
right.
But we have this. After you guys get done there, maybe I need to have y'all come here because we have a energy company wanting to take a 70-year-old pipeline that was laid right in World War II to bring just air gas, natural gas, propane up from the south to the north. Well, they want to reverse the flow and use NGLs, which is high pressure natural gas. And I was looking at the engineering specs on all of this, and any point in that gas line could leak 100 gallons a minute into our aquifer, and they would never know about it until my spring house explodes because a spark went off or a lightning bolt hits near a spring or it starts coming up in our drinking water, or you go fishing and light a cigarette and throw your match in the water and the entire county explodes. Because natural gas liquids, they're heavier than air. Even once they expand, they're heavier than air and just a little bit lighter than water. So they're going to follow the lines of gravity. And I'm up on the knob, but most of the people in my county live in the hole, is what we call it.
Yeah.
It's actually the bowl of an ancient lake. And so it would all run right down into town until somebody lit their grill one day when it was just thick enough, and boom! I mean, it would be a spectacular sight, 4th of July kind of thing for me, but still not good.
Right.
And we just can't get anybody interested in putting a stop to this at all.
Mm.
So I don't know. This is me preaching a little about my local issue, but it's all tied together.
I talked to some people from my hometown, the Hoopaw tribe, just the other day, and I asked them about their issues, and it's the same story. Fighting for clean water and fighting this and fighting that to stop the destruction of the land. It's everywhere. It's a disease.
Yeah,
it's herpes, and everybody's getting it.
Yeah, and everybody's called, me and others like me a conspiracy theorist for years because I talk about how the water wars are coming. But, the water wars are not coming anymore. The water wars are here.
They're here.
Yep.
They're here in Cannonball, North Dakota.
Yep. And just about everywhere else in the United States at this point. I mean, have you seen what's going on in Flint?
Yes.
Yeah, those people, that water is literally poison.
Yes.
So.
And we're getting people here from Michigan, and they're talking about it.
Well, Donald Trump, I don't know if you're a Trump supporter or not. Don't really, this show isn't about politics, but, he's up there. He's been touring that water plant up there in Flint all day. And, and is, I don't know if this is a slick move to get the black vote or what, but, he's discussing taking care, fixing Detroit and fixing that water. But it's not just one place; it's everywhere. I mean, I just luckily live in a place right now. I chose the place I moved to when I decided to move out of Florida. I spent a lot of time figuring out where am I going to move to, where is safe, where is down, where am I upwind of radiation, where am I downwind of nuclear explosions, where is the water clean, where can I hide, where can I go find a cave if I need to, and that's why I'm where I'm at. So that's in the Appalachians are it's like some of the places in the West that are on the up northwest. From, although Washington, Oregon's a little compromised by Fukushima right now, but as you come into Montana and the Dakotas and stuff like that, you have low populations, so you have, less issues with pollution, on a local level anyway, so.
Yeah.
Okay, Roxy, I'd like to, if possible, do this every day. And could you give us, I did see that you got something set up so people can help fund you. Could you give us that information, please?
Oh, I had to kind of bite my, kind of push the pride aside. And I just got a quote on tires of $620. So yes, I have a GoFundMe account. It's on my Facebook page. My Facebook page is Roxana Hall, ROXANNA, last name Hall, HALL. And I'm from Zimbabwe. That's not true, but that's what I put on my Facebook. So I did, I have a GoFundMe page. This is going to cost me easy $1,000 just to put tires on the car. And I dropped my last working video camera in some water, and we are trying desperately right this very minute to fix it. So kind of need a little help. I'm retired now, so I'm actually on a fixed income, and my income pays the bills at home. It doesn't pay for any of this. All of this has always come out of my own pocket. I've gotten help before, but it's been just small amounts, and I don't ever ask.
Do me a favor, over where we've been just talking on Facebook, send me the link to your GoFundMe, and I'll actually install it into this video, okay?
Oh, awesome. Thank you, partner.
All right.
Well, you know what? I don't have any internet service. I can't get internet unless I go to the casino. Can
Well,
you
I'm just
get
talking
onto my
about.
Facebook page?
I'm just talking about our Facebook chat. Just send it to me when you get a chance, and
Okay.
I'll put it in the once this video renders, and we're live stream right now, but it'll also archive. Once it archives, I'll put your GoFundMe in there. You
Okay.
just never know. I mean, when I was doing this with Bundy Ranch, I think we raised. I don't know where it all went. Some of it was stolen. Some of it was scammed out.
Right.
But that kind of happens because I was having to trust people I didn't know. But we did
Yep.
raise. I know for a fact I raised about 10 grand in cash that we sent to specific
Wow.
people. We had people donate wind generators and all kinds
Yep.
of stuff. So, I don't think it'll be a problem getting you a video camera.
I need, I hate to say that, the word, I need. My first thing is tires and a video camera. I had two, and I am down to fixing this one. I'd like to get a ham radio. I'd like to get some walkie-talkies. And I can show receipts. I've been trying to keep receipts for this whole entire trip. And right now I have about 3,500 miles on this trip.
Right.
And so
Well,
I'm very adamant about showing what I'm spending my money on.
Right.
And I do pinch pennies. I really do pinch pennies. But most of my money's been going on gas right now.
And everybody knows my reputation through all three, through this event, Sugar Pine Mine, Oregon.
Yep.
And now this. Everybody knows my integrity with this, and
Yeah.
so and
Well,
everybody knows I don't go find people that I think are going to be a problem. So
Yeah.
we've talked before, and you did a great job out there in Oregon. You scared the hell out of one of my reporters, but that's okay.
Put the fear of God in them. Tell Sherry I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
did not mean to do that, but that's the perception I give off. That's the
Yeah,
20 years in law
just-
enforcement, you kind of built that shield up. You do put that shield up. And for your listeners that don't know who I am, I did go to the Bundy Ranch, and I was down there. And I did go to the Sugar Pine Mine in Josephine County, Oregon. And I did do Burns, Oregon. And I was in Burns, Oregon for 18 days. And I got there the morning of the day that Lavoie was murdered. And so there's a lot that I did up there as well. So for those that don't know me, you can go onto the Rocky Hall YouTube channel and look at the stuff that I did in Burns, Oregon. So
good job. And also, for the people that don't know me, I got a couple of orders already. I make a very special type of chef's cutting board. It's a natural bowed Japanese style stand-up cutting board. This is not like the cheap little crap you buy at Walmart. This is a 2-inch thick heavy wood treated and seasoned cutting board that stands up off the ground. It's basically a portable countertop you can carry around if you can pick it up. And I usually sell them to high-end restaurants from anywhere, depending on the size they want, from $150 to $450. Right now I'm offering the 24-inch by 12, or excuse me, the 24-inch long by, what is it? It's 19-inch wide cutting board. I'm making these up $100 to the public, which will be branded with and I'm having a metal shop local making me a special brand that has a buffalo and it says Water for Life and has my name on the bottom, that I'll be wood branding it on the back, and I'll be offering those for $100, and they cost me quite a bit and takes me 3 days to make one. But everyone that goes, I will be sending $15 to the supply fund out there, which is basically means I'm making them at cost.
wow.
And all you have to do is go to freedomslips.com, which you see in this video, And go over there. You can find my email address and make arrangements. I can only ship these in the United States at that cost because these things are heavy. They're almost 8 pounds, and that can be $20 to $25 or more, depending on where I ship them. So that's what I can do. You know, I always say I put my money where my mouth is, and I'll put my talents where my mouth is. So, and you know, this whole thing is important to me because, you know, and I have kids. You know, I've had clean drinking water, but I want my kids and my grandkids and everyone down from there. And it's not just about water. It's about water. It's about freedom. It's about liberty. And it's about getting our entire world and country and the people away from corporate controlled government and colonialism, which, you know, I mean, some of us are a product of colonialism. You know, my family is from the Middle East in the 1800s, and they came to America running from the colonialism that was going on, you know, in the Middle East at the time, you know, like King Leopold and all those people. So, and the, you know, what was going on in the Middle East at the time. You know, just things changed, but they still kind of seem to stay the same, in my opinion.
Yes.
So, all right, Rocky, what time are you going to start uploading your daily videos? And I'll live stream those again here in a little while, but we can close this down now. I think we've done a great show, don't you?
I do.
All right.
I uploaded about 7 videos yesterday. I have nothing from today. My camera is in the process of trying to be fixed.
I forgot.
And so, yeah, so you can just go on my YouTube channel, and I put them all on my Rocky Hall Facebook page as well.
All right. Yeah, I found a couple of the new ones. All right, so we need to get you a camera with something that hooks around your neck so you don't drop it and break it again, right?
Well, I went low budget because I personally don't like anything that hooks up to the internet, because when we were in Burns, they swiped everything. You know, our phones were being swiped of information, our stuff was being swiped of information, our laptops. So I want to keep some of these low budget cameras. I mean, yes, I need one that can live stream as well, but I'm also going to keep these as backup.
Right, so, cool. Okay, now, do you have a smartphone?
I do, but the phone service that I have, I can't live stream out here.
Okay, here's what I'm wondering, and we can test this tomorrow. If you install the Skype application into your phone, and you can actually live stream by going through me, because I do all the technical bandwidth kung fu on my side. This is how we managed to do this in Burns when Sherry had just barely any signal. She could call me with a video call, and then I would cap that out through the live stream, which takes a lot more bandwidth.
Okay.
So if you want to give that a try, and I don't know if you have contact with Sherry, but she can kind of help you, because I mean, it was seat of the pants with her. She had never dealt with any of that kind of stuff before, and there was quite a bit of what the hell, how's this work? You know, and the first couple of videos we did was a little catchy, and sketchy, just trying to get it done, and you know, and of course, you know, the people on YouTube, what the hell's wrong with you? Can't you do anything right or whatever? It's like, listen, man.
Yeah. Hey, we're out here on the front lines. We're doing what we can do.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, quit bitching from behind your keyboard.
Right. Exactly. Keyboard warriors, gotta love them.
Yep.
They keep us entertained.
All right, Rocky, Roxy, Roxanne, you have a great day, and we're going to sign off here on the live stream with the Dakota Report with Hawk and Rocky Hall.
Awesome. Thank you, partner.
Yep. Have a good night.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.
Alexa, where's the nearest jewelry?
Ecuador was the very first country that granted constitutional rights to nature.
Cameras down.
And although we are considered precedent among many countries, this is the flag that represents all the indigenous nations down south, the Abya Yala, which is the name that we call to our land before the European invasion. We are the Abya Yala people. The Abya Yala extended all what is like the three Americas. It means the land of vital blood. That is what Abya Yala means. And I came here to fill myself with a strength. It was hard to decide to come and talk, but I had to do it. And I appreciate a lot you listening to me. And I appreciate everything that you're doing. And thank you for everything you do and everything you are. We are learning. And I'm here to service. So if there's any way that I can support, please let me know. Thank you so much. You can try to
The tribal members have told the DAPL to come and remove their equipment.
We let check it win, ma. Who I am doesn't matter. What matters is the message. I come from the legally occupied territory known as California, one of the richest states in the world. They're trying to raise the Shasta Dam 9 feet. They say there's a drought, but what they're doing is they're selling all the water.
Yep.
They're letting Crystal Geyser desecrate our sacred lands. We ain't having it no more. Our Winnemem people have been on the dam for over 10 years, war dancing, praying for the land. In our way, we don't believe that we're native unless we have that connection to the land, and we pray at the river, and we stand up for our sacred sites. In my culture, the women is the power, the dreamers, the weavers, the backbone. It's time to rise, but it's also time for unity. I stood on the highest mountain in the world, from sea to sky, Mauna Kea, with Antipua, with all the Kanaka Maori. Never were they faced with that 30-meter telescope on their sacred mountain, where they have their sacred water. She had a dream, and the spirit came to her and told her that she had to protect the mountain. And she said, but I'm only a school teacher. And she went and she rose an army. And they believe in the aloha, the breath of life. And they stand disciplined against the colonizers. And they stand strong in their medicine. They do not break their discipline because that's what they want. They want division. They want anger. They want hate. They want all these things so that they can harm us, because they can't have what we got, and that's our power. It's time to believe in ourselves. It's time to take our ceremonies back from these culture vultures and these people that are misusing them, and stand up for our women and our children. You men that got that European attitude like you don't need to listen to a woman, you need to check yourselves.
I like this guy.
Men that know better, you need to check them. We're not pacifists, we never have been. But we believe in our medicine wholeheartedly. And it's time. Enough's enough. Oh.
Muskogee Creek Nation, Oklahoma. And first off, I want to thank the people of this land for allowing us to come to your territory. Help stand up with you. very honored to be here. The greatest feeling I ever felt was coming over that hill and seeing all the people out there, all the tribes coming together. We fight many battles. Right now we're fighting for our sacred land in Alabama on Hickory ground, Ojibwa. We're a tribe called the Porch Band that got recognized in 1985, acquired our sacred land that we have in Oklahoma now, that we still have our ceremonies at. Ojibwa was in Alabama, and the tribe acquired our land and desecrated our sacred land and dug up over 60 remains and built a resort, a casino on top of it. And we went to try to stop it. A few of us. We got arrested and got charged with terrorism and all kinds of stuff, and ended up going to courts and got charged and got sentenced to 5 years. Suspended sentence, went to jury trial last year and won.
Speak up!
We fight many battles, and one-on-one, it's a very hard battle. But we all come together, we cannot be beat. For all of our issues, we have to come together as one, because we are one. We're all brothers and sisters, we're the same. It's a very tough battle. And if we protect the sacred will protect us all. Forever. I just want to say Mado.
Good afternoon. My name is Sam Hunter. I'm an anthropologist from Southern California. I protect a site called the Black Mountain Complex.
Thank you.
There was a battle fought there 7,000 years ago. So your history goes back at least 12 to 16,000 years.
Goes back forever.
Right.
Creator brought us here.
One of the things that everybody has been taught was that the Indians never had any form of writing. It has taken me 16 years, but I have absolute proof that that is not true.
Woo!
I also have the name of the person who came up with the legal strategy to steal the land from the Indians using the government to do it. His name is Lewis Henry Morgan. He made himself a friend of the Indian. Everybody thought he was a great guy. I asked my colleagues, master's degrees, PhDs, I asked them, what was his day job? And nobody can tell me. What I will tell you is that he was a railroad attorney. I am honored and I am proud to be here in your light. And I thank you very much for allowing me to be here. Thank you.
Thank you.
My name is Noah. I'm mixed. I'm from Haudenosaunee, Eastern Woodlands. First of all, I thank you, sir. We always ask from the leader permission to speak. That pipeline is a tentacle of a much larger beast. See, I'm here because I heard there were 7,000 Ongwahong here. That's why most of us came here. This is the heartland of the turtle. If you disregard the Canadian border, the Canadian-American border, this is the center. This is about more than just the pipeline.
Yes, it is.
We've got to keep our numbers up here. I know many are going to see that the tractors are going to leave and they're going to say, oh, it's over. I've been to many stand-ups and it just disappeared.
Thank you.
It's much larger than the pipeline. We've got to keep our minds in the indigenous mindset. I don't mean to be negative, but This is a time for us to rebuild our sacred culture, our sacred language, what is sacred to us. You turn on the radio and hear any rock and roll. I wouldn't go into Longhouse and hear rock and roll. I want us to keep this indigenous. We call it Ungwahoin back where I'm at home. It means the real people. Now obviously I'm mixed. I'm not discouraging any race at all. But we've got to keep our one mind and the sacred turtle's heart to make this stronger so that it doesn't dissipate. I have people, my friends and family coming from back at home, the Haudenosaunee, because of the numbers that are here, because we're under the Ungwahoin thought. I just want to keep that, I want to put that out there. Keep it native, keep it indigenous, keep it Ungwahoin. Respect the houses to where you are. No, when we say let it be one in our minds, is Netodit Nyotik, and that's how I feel, amongst all of us. Keep it Ungwahoin, keep it native. It's bigger than this. Keep it growing, let it resonate out. It's time now. You know it.
I want to thank you all for being here. I cannot stay long enough, but to those of you who stay, I know that winter is coming, and we can send you what you need. Because if you want this to stay like this and to have water, then we have to stay here as long as we can. Otherwise, your home will look like my home. My home is Los Angeles. I steal water from the Indians up north. We steal water and it comes through uranium mines. So I come from a homeland that's beautiful and desert-like, and now we're stealing water from everyone. And there's nothing there that's alive. Every bit of grass that tries to grow gets cut down. We need the water for swimming pools. Well, enough of that. Enough of that. Part of our unity is recognizing that some of us are pigs. We take things while others have nothing. And you come and stand here while they're watching the television. I like TV. But I just want to say to you that we must stay here as long as we can. Those of you who stay, I admire your strength. But you must stay here, or this will become like my homeland. And you don't want that. So I am very proud of all of you. Thank you to the people whose land this is. I'm sorry this is happening to you. We come to try and help. We come to just say that we are with you. Thank you all very much.
I went to the tribal council today and I showed them some documents. This is really important because I still don't hear it enough. So what I did is I took it off the internet. This is a letter we wrote about Brian Keane at the United Nations because he was trying to get rid of indigenous leaders to keep them from talking about the United States. The first part is the United States. It is an established fact that the United States went bankrupt in 1933. What does that mean? That means that Roosevelt, he fired Congress and he fired himself and he handed all federal documents over to the United Nations 12 years before the actual building was ever built. That also means Washington don't have treaties. This paper here is a chronicle list of international treaties around the world. They started in 1283 BCE, before Christ. So these treaties are international. Okay, it's also proof that United States is not a country under Catch versus the United States and Bonds versus the United States. To conceal a fraud is to commit a fraud. So they're committing a fraud with the Dakota Access Pipeline, and they're backing it up with the United States, which is called the EIN number, a charter, or a bond. Okay, this kind of gets really touchy, so I'm going to touch you eventually. Sovereignty, full sovereignty is a contract between sovereign nations, government to government. When the United States went bankrupt, they lost their sovereignty. They're no longer sovereign. Ignorance of federal law is no excuse. These are the tribes that owe the IRS, so think about it. 1933 bankruptcy, and it's 2016 right now. Cheyenne River Sioux Tribe, Frisco year. They owed the IRS $3,003,076.952. Crow Creek Sioux Tribe owed the IRS $3,867. Oglala Sioux Tribe owed the IRS $4,208,711. We're going to go down here. There's 5 tribes. One of them is the Standing Rock Sioux Tribe. $1,051,776,000. Now times that times 1933. That number is actually a lot higher than what they're saying. So the next one is there's a woman, United States Department of Interior, Ramsey K. Cole. She's the deputy solicitor. Where'd that woman go? In the cities, in the bigger cities, Reno, Nevada, LA, New York, if you solicit on the street and are homeless, you go to jail. Think about it. Washington don't have a home, they don't have a charter, a bond, an EIN number, and definitely no treaty. But they have a deputy solicitor. Law of the land. Law of the land here states all laws which are pertinent to the Constitution are null and void. Wow. Mayberry versus Madison. Under 28-002, United States is a federal corporation. Now here's the catch. In 1933, when the United States went bankrupt, they never got a federal writ from 264 federal recognized tribes, and if they did, I need to know. However, Washington is sitting on federal land, and I can't remember the name of that tribe. And so we are going to have to claim eminent domain on the White House itself. This is really important, very important. Chronicle list of international treaties. 264 federal recognized tribes. All your treaties are not in here. You are going to have to follow the Fort Laramie 1851 treaty, and this is world treaties I'm talking about. Chronicle list of international world treaties, world ambassadors, world leaders, world judges. That one judge who made a decision here, he's a state judge who made an international decision on our people. All the way around the world. That is treason against treaties. That's a death sentence. There's only one small problem. The Lakota people don't believe in killing anything or anybody. So I said, leave it up to me. I'm from Wounded Knee. But honestly, I really do have to follow our loved ones, what they say. No matter
You can
what.
escort them out, and
So-
they made replicas of the Santa, Pinta, and Nina Maria. Santa Maria and Nina Pinta. We can put them back on.
I'm gonna give the greatest honor to our leader here to read in the Chronicle List of International Treaties what it says in 1851. What does it say on 1851?
1851, Fort Laramie. The United States negotiates safe passage from Oregon Trail settlers with Native Americans.
Okay, what does that mean? That means that the Fort Laramie 1851 treaty is not a deed, it's not a title, and definitely it's not a gift from God to the United States to take over our land or to Dakota Access Pipeline. We own this land, and land is not for sale.
Osya, Salicha Siam Siaya. You know, back home, I'm from Washington State. My given name is Tuptalo. My Christian name is Sean Yanity, or by the federal government I'm known as Enrollment Number 82. In Washington, we're battling our legislatures and our Attorney General. We won the federal court case, the Bolt decision, back in 1974. We're still fighting in court over salmon. Nowadays, we're fighting over clean water. We're watching that metropolis work its way up the I-5 corridor to our relatives on the coast. We can't even get the EPA to help us out setting water quality standards that protect our waterways that we drink, we bathe, our salmon, our shellfish. And then we were fighting the railroad at Cherry Point. They wanted to put a terminal in up the Lummi Nation's sacred site. Those rail cars go through our territory every day. You see the oil tankers and the coal. All it takes is one of those to crash, and there goes our clam beds. And I hear people say, well, look at the Exxon Valdez, it's all cleaned up. It's beautiful again up there. Our great leader, Billy Frank Jr., visited up there and went out to the beach, and he dug, not even 6 inches underneath the ground, underneath the rocks when they were in the tidal water. You were hitting sludge. It recovers on the top. It looks good, but looks could be deceiving. And that's what we're fighting for back home. That's what we're fighting here and through all of our lands. Just protecting our way of life, protecting the things that our ancestors survived on, the things that we want to survive on, those traditional foods. Our tribe it lives in a concrete jungle. We're the Stolaquabj. It means the river people. I want to ask permission to be here in your homeland.
Welcome to our homeland.
Oh, see, I didn't do that this morning. I apologize. But it's wonderful to be here with all of our relatives. The flag we brought to leave here hung at our natural resource building. I'm also the fisheries manager. Gary Tatro, our council member, as well as our wildlife policy. We fight for our treaty right. We fight to keep those traditions, the interests of hunting and fishing going. We fight for our salmon. Our salmon are listed on the Endangered Species Act. We get 30 Chinook a year. That's our allocation. Our habitat is being destroyed faster than we can fix it. So we stand here with all of you to protect your drinking water, your habitat, your children. Asquiatu tia bukswatim, to hold sacred all the earth.
Okay, hi, my name's Christina. I came from Flagstaff, Arizona. And we can sit around and talk about countless problems because there are many. And it's hard for me to stand up here and talk about this stuff in front of crowds of people, but it's time. And it would be great if you guys would all stand up and show the energy. We have to start somewhere. Change doesn't happen overnight. It starts here, it starts now. People are caring now. It started something. This is our time. Okay? We need to be thankful for this. We don't get chances like this every day. We don't. And I don't want to hear us, I don't want to hear them here. This is us, and that pipeline, and that's them. That's them. This is us. We're standing together. And I saw this beautiful flag earlier. It had different colors on it and a heart, and there was a world in the middle of it. That's how it should be. These flags are all beautiful. All of them. But that one connected all of us. In every single way. And thank you for letting me say that. And I just continue to hope that this stays like this. I'm leaving in like a week. So the only thing you can continue to do is to keep saying it over and over until we're heard. Thank you guys. I believe in you guys. We're going to stop this pipeline. We have to start somewhere. Thank you.
My name is Kayla Sutherland from Ottawa, Toronto, Canada. A few months ago in the spring, we had a suicide crisis. And people got attention all over Canada, and they didn't know what to do. Nobody knew what to do. No action was being taken. So what a small group of people did was they decided to occupy the Indian Northern Affairs of Canada, the federal government. We went into the federal government's office and we occupied it and we shut it down. That created an inspiration all over Canada, and almost every INAC building was occupied and shut down. I believe it's something that could be repeated here. We did that with a policy that says that we're holding ceremony in that building. They can't kick you out if you're an Indigenous person doing ceremony. Right. So for all of those that cannot get here, I say go to your municipal building, go to your state buildings, federal buildings. Go into those offices. You can make a difference. Just a small group of people change the lives of our young people in Ottawa. We're now getting our youth center. We are now getting the water treatment research that we are finally asking for years and years and years. There's still a lot of work to be done. But I have never seen a unity like this I don't think any of us have. We can't let it go. We can see the change happening already. All of us standing together, not being mad at each other, not looking at our differences, only looking at similarities. See? Okay. Good. I'm saying you're good. Awesome. My cousin here is also talking. I'm so proud of her because we don't usually do this too much. And oh, me glad for all of you people being together and standing together, and don't let it go. Go to those federal buildings, go to your people, tell them that those that can't make it here, make the stance there. We can't take over. I know it sounds radical, but trust me, if you do it in a peaceful and prayerful way, you won't be stopped. We can make the change. You have to have hope and faith, and it will happen. I saw it happen in our country, and I know it'll happen here. And I bet this one will be even bigger. You can make change for tribes all over your nation. You're an inspiration to all nations. This is going to create a great change all over the world. I hope you all know that you are a part of this great change. This is almost a drop in the bucket of a ripple effect all across the world. The entire world is watching you right now. Do you know that? And they will not let this die. We will not let the water die. But we will heal our land. It is not too late. Miigwech.
My name is Suang, just like my brother here. Opposite of the hawk, I am the tail of the eagle. I was told guidance, so I'm part Santa Clara, Kapo Winge, part Zia, people of the sun. So from Santa Clara, we're water people. The water serpent brings us our water on her back. While our water is drying up with a mixture of Los Alamos National Laboratory throwing their uraniums in our backyards. Now, the more I hear these stories, we all have similar stories. We all have something going on in our backyards. And just like she said, we should not only go home and talk to the people there that could not make this travel because, like this gentleman said, they can't even buy food. That's pretty sad. That means the people here need our support, and the people back home can only dish out so much. So what I'm asking is, I researched, find out who's investing into these pipelines, the big banks. Withdraw your money from these banks. Do not bank with them. Yes. Donald Trump, $250,000 invested into this pipeline. This man is supposed to now become president. What do you think is going to happen? This is not over. If he makes office, the problem is going to resurface. As indigenous people, make sure we go back home and do not vote for him. Nobody vote for him. Nobody go and invest in the Walmarts. You know, these are all corporate companies who sit above us, looking down at us, laughing. But we actually are the richer ones in heart and spirit. My aunt told me to come out here, come out in peace. Where we're from, we're very restless. A lot of our kids are into drugs and alcohol. It's because they're displaced. They should be warriors. My heart goes out to the young men getting on their horses in the middle of the night and patrolling. They have purpose. We all have purpose. Now it's to be in sync with Mother Earth wanted us to be. Whether it's a warrior, a speaker, a provider, nonetheless, we must respect her and we must respect our elders. And I see this when I'm feeding. I see a lot of the men standing before the elderlies. That's not how it is at home. The elderlies eat first, then the kids, then the women. The men, if there's leftover, then we eat because we have the ability to go out and get our food. We need to respect every single body, and the women most of all. Men don't bear children. And like this lady was saying earlier, they sat in the womb for 9 months. You know, so it's time for change. Give the women the right and the respect that they need to input their value into our society. We're men, we're warriors. We think with testosterone, they think with their hearts.
Yeah.
So please, I'm asking you, everybody go back home and make a change. This is a big deal. Do not promote these big businesses and really look into who's promoting this. There's people in million-dollar mansions wanting this to still go. And it's not going to go as long as we're here.
He lives in Texas.
They live all over, honey.
The biggest one lives in Texas.
Well, Los Alamos National Laboratory, they did a project in the 70s where they blew the uranium in the easterly direction because they knew that all 8 northern pueblos were east of their wind. So many of my elders are sick. So many of them lost before their time. My Matt John Shahey at Don Bisado, he's a drummer, gone way before his time, and with him went songs that I should have learned, that my kids should have learned. So what I'm asking is, whether you're native, you're indigenous or not, embrace this. We're all family. We all came from this planet. Nobody owns anything. We're only here for a brief period of time. No walls and just more love. Thank you. Kunta Waha.
Hello, Wiche, Anin, Bojo, Sego. My name's Yvonne. I'm from Attawabsket First Nation on my mom's side. And my father's from Burns Lake, British Columbia. In both of my mother and my father's side, we have water issues as well. Attawabsket, we can't even drink our own water. We have to get it from a well. And my father's side, their community is, I guess they just signed permission for a pipeline to go through his community. And my father was deputy chief, and he tried to get the council to vote no, but he kind of got kicked out of that after that happened. So I'm really happy to be here because we, again, like the message is, we all have a fight with water. And I'd just like to share a song with you from Canada. We're from Canada. And just to let you guys know, a lot of people don't know where Canada is or where we can tell them, and they're like, okay, we have no idea where that's from, but we're from northern Ontario. I came with a couple of Cree women, my family, and a woman from Walpole. Where's she? But anyway, I just like to share a song. It's a water song. We sing this back home. Some of us, full moon ceremony for women. It's a ceremony for women because back where I'm from, women are the protectors of water. We pray into the water. So when we do our ceremonies, women come and bring the water and pray into it. And also full moon ceremony because we're connected to the moon, our cycles. And so it's a very sacred time, and as women, we are very sacred. So is water. Water is life, right?
Right. Water is life.
Yeah. So I just like to sing this song, and also sing for the ancestors too, because they like hearing these songs and prayers and stuff like that. So bear with me, because I'm a little nervous. But I'm gonna close my eyes. So, all right. All right.
Don't worry, just keep from your heart. That was your fault. Stand up. Move. I told you to stand up.
Oh
Oh.
Yahweh.
My name's Abe, Denver, Colorado. I've learned a lot since we came here.